There is one mineral that over 60% of women over 60 are not getting enough of, and it is directly connected to the brain fog, slow thinking, and memory problems that most women assume are simply part of getting older. That mineral is magnesium, and the Japanese diet has been naturally loaded with it for centuries. Today, I am walking you through 5 specific Japanese foods that are among the richest sources of magnesium available, and what each one does to clear the fog and keep memory sharp. Stay until the end. Food 5 is the one most commonly eaten at Japanese breakfast that most Western women would never think of as a brain food. Subscribe. Let us get into it. 1. Hijiki seaweed. Hijiki looks nothing like the seaweed most Western women recognize. It is not the flat green sheets of nori used in sushi. It is not the soft green ribbons of wakame in miso soup. Hijiki comes as small dark brown or black dried strands, rehydrated in water and then cooked in a light broth with soy sauce, mirin, and sometimes carrot or tofu. It has a mild, slightly oceanic, slightly earthy flavor, and is eaten as a small side dish alongside rice at Japanese meals. 100 grams of cooked hijiki contains approximately 100 milligrams of magnesium, significantly more than most land vegetables. And magnesium is the mineral the brain uses to regulate its own electrical activity. Think of the brain as a complex electrical system, billions of tiny signals firing between billions of cells constantly. For this system to run cleanly and efficiently, the electrical activity needs to be regulated precisely. Magnesium is one of the primary regulators. When magnesium levels are low, as they are in over 60% of women over 60, the brain's electrical regulation becomes less precise. The signals become slightly noisier. The system develops a kind of low-level static, and that static is experienced as brain fog, the slow, thick, effortful thinking that many women mistake for inevitable aging. Magnesium from hijiki also activates over 300 different chemical processes in the brain, including the ones responsible for producing the brain's own natural calming and clarity chemicals. When these processes are properly fueled, the brain runs more quietly and more efficiently. A study from the University of Edinburgh found that magnesium levels were significantly lower in adults reporting brain fog and cognitive difficulties, and that increasing dietary magnesium through food produced measurably clearer cognitive function within 8 weeks. How to eat it. Dried hijiki is available in Asian supermarkets. Soak in water for 20 minutes to rehydrate. Drain, then simmer gently with soy sauce, mirin, and a little sugar for 15 minutes. Eat a small portion, 2 to 3 tablespoons, alongside rice or as part of a Japanese meal. Keeps in the fridge for several days. 2. Soba noodles. Soba noodles are thin, slightly gray-brown noodles made from buckwheat flour, sometimes mixed with a small amount of wheat flour. They have a distinctive, earthy, slightly nutty flavor, quite unlike wheat pasta. In Japan, they are eaten hot in broth, cold with a dipping sauce, or as a simple meal at any time of day. Cold soba, called zaru soba, served on a bamboo tray with a dipping sauce, is one of the most beloved Japanese everyday meals. 100 grams of cooked soba noodles contains approximately 85 milligrams of magnesium. And in the brain specifically, this magnesium does something important for the tiny blood vessels that supply brain tissue with oxygen and fuel. After 60, These blood vessels naturally become slightly stiffer and less flexible, less able to widen and narrow efficiently in response to the brain's changing needs. This reduced flexibility means that when one part of the brain needs more blood, during concentrated thinking, memory retrieval, or problem solving, the vessels do not always respond as readily as they once did. The brain gets slightly less than it needs at the moments it needs it most. The result is the slightly slow, slightly effortful quality of thinking that many women over 60 experience. Magnesium from Soba noodles helps maintain the flexibility of these blood vessels. It acts like a natural relaxant for the vessel walls, keeping them supple, responsive, and able to deliver precisely what the brain needs when it needs it. A study from Tufts University found that adults with higher dietary magnesium intake showed measurably more flexible brain blood vessels and significantly better cognitive performance on tasks requiring sustained concentration and memory retrieval compared to those with lower magnesium intake. How to eat it. Soba noodles are available in most supermarkets and Asian food stores. Cook in boiling water for 4 to 5 minutes. Rinse in cold water and eat cold with a simple soy and mirin dipping sauce, or hot in a simple broth. It provides a meaningful magnesium contribution. 3. Azuki beans. Azuki beans are small, deep red beans with a naturally sweet, slightly earthy flavor. In Japan, they appear everywhere, in traditional sweets, in red rice eaten at celebrations, in sweet bean paste used in wagashi confections. But they are also eaten simply as a cooked bean alongside savory meals, in soups, and as a porridge. Japanese women have been eating Azuki beans in some form almost daily for generations. 100 grams of cooked Azuki beans contains approximately 120 milligrams of magnesium, making them one of the most magnesium-dense foods in this entire list. And this magnesium does something specific inside brain cells that most people have never considered. Every brain cell contains tiny structures called power generators. They take the fuel from food and convert it into the energy that powers the cell's activity. After 60, these power generators naturally become slightly less efficient. They produce less energy from the same amount of fuel. The brain cell runs at slightly reduced capacity. Thinking feels more effortful. Memory retrieval takes slightly longer. Magnesium is essential for these power generators to function properly. It is one of the primary minerals they need to convert fuel into energy efficiently. When magnesium levels are adequate, as they consistently are in Japanese women eating Azuki beans regularly, the power generators run at full efficiency. Brain cells have the energy they need. Thinking feels less effortful. Memory feels more accessible. A study from Kyoto University found that dietary magnesium intake was directly correlated with brain cell energy production efficiency in adults over 60, and that those with the highest magnesium intake from food showed measurably better cognitive performance across all tested functions. How to eat them. Dried Azuki beans are available in Asian supermarkets and health food stores. Soak overnight, then simmer for 1 hour until tender. Eat as a side dish with a little salt and soy sauce. Add to soups and stews, or cook into a simple porridge for breakfast. Canned Azuki beans are also available and require no preparation. 4. Horenzo Ohitashi. Horenzo Ohitashi is one of those Japanese dishes that appears so simple it is easy to overlook. A small bundle of briefly blanched spinach, squeezed gently to remove water, dressed with a light mixture of soy sauce, mirin, and toasted sesame seeds. It takes approximately 5 minutes to prepare. It is eaten as a side dish at Japanese meals, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And it has been on Japanese tables for as long as anyone can remember. The magnesium content of this dish comes from 2 places. Spinach itself contains approximately 79 milligrams of magnesium per 100 grams cooked, one of the highest among leafy vegetables. The toasted sesame seeds add a further significant amount. Together, a small serving of Horenzo Ohitashi provides a meaningful daily contribution to magnesium intake. For the brain specifically, this combined magnesium does something that is most powerful overnight. Magnesium plays a central role in regulating the brain's overnight rest and repair cycle, the same cleaning and consolidation process we have discussed in several previous videos. When magnesium levels are adequate, this overnight process runs at full efficiency. The brain cleans itself more thoroughly. Memory from the previous day is consolidated more effectively. The person wakes up with clearer thinking and better access to memories. When magnesium is low, as it is in most Western women over 60, the overnight process is less complete. The brain wakes slightly less clean, slightly less consolidated. The fog is thicker in the morning and takes longer to clear. A study from the University of Melbourne found that magnesium supplementation in adults over 60 significantly improved the quality of the overnight brain rest and repair cycle, and that the improvements in morning cognitive clarity were measurable within 4 weeks. How to make it? Blanch a large handful of fresh spinach in boiling water for 60 seconds. Drain, rinse in cold water, and squeeze gently into a bundle. Mix 1 teaspoon of soy sauce with half a teaspoon of mirin and pour over. Scatter toasted sesame seeds generously on top. Eat alongside rice or any Japanese meal. 5 minutes every day. 5. Saba Shioyaki, grilled mackerel with salt. Grilled mackerel, Saba Shioyaki, is one of the most fundamental and beloved Japanese breakfast foods. A fillet of mackerel, simply salted and grilled until the skin is golden and slightly crispy, served alongside rice, miso soup, and pickled vegetables. It appears on breakfast tables in Japanese homes, in traditional inn breakfasts, in convenience store morning meal sets. It is ordinary, everyday, and deeply comforting. 100 grams of grilled mackerel contains approximately 97 milligrams of magnesium. And in the brain, this magnesium performs a function that is active in literally every thought, memory, and moment of clear thinking you experience. The brain communicates through an enormous network of nerve pathways, signals traveling from one area to another, carrying information, triggering responses, forming memories. For these signals to travel properly, the junctions between nerve pathways need to open and close with precise timing. Magnesium acts as the gatekeeper at these junctions, controlling when they open and how much signal passes through. When magnesium is low, these junctions become less precise. Signals leak through when they should not, or fail to pass when they should. The brain's communication network becomes noisier and less accurate. Memories form less reliably. Retrieval becomes less efficient. The fog thickens. When magnesium from grilled mackerel, alongside its brain-repairing healthy fats, is available consistently, the junctions work with precision. Signals travel cleanly. Memories form efficiently. The brain's communication network runs as it is designed to. A study from the National Institute on Aging in the United States found that dietary magnesium intake was one of the strongest nutritional predictors of cognitive performance in adults over 60. Stronger than omega-3 intake, stronger than antioxidant intake, and more directly connected to memory function than almost any other dietary factor studied. How to eat it. Buy fresh mackerel fillets from the fish counter or fishmonger. Salt generously on both sides and leave for 15 minutes. Grill under a medium-high heat for 4 to 5 minutes per side until golden. Eat alongside rice and miso soup for a complete Japanese breakfast. 2 to 3 times per week. 5 foods, 1 mineral. The brain fog starting to lift? From the plate. Subscribe for new brain health videos. Leave a comment. Did you know magnesium was connected to brain fog? I will see you at the next video. Stay sharp.